Yo, JD here, and we are here for round 3 of my 5-lap career mode. And we're at China here today after a pretty good second place at Bahrain. I think qualified 6th on the grid, which is the highest point so far. And if you're new to this, I'm using default setup against 110% AI in the Scuderia Ferrari, which is proving to be quite a challenge because the AI, particularly around some tracks like Bahrain last time, they are very, very good. And we're just checking the wear levels because that's the only thing I'm going to change this season. I'm not going to upgrade the car in any way at all. We're doing a one-shot qualifying here, which we're just jumping into now. And as I've mentioned in my previous episodes as well, we do not do any practice sessions going into this, or I do time trial or anything offline. I literally just jump into it. And this is always the first attempt. I do not do multiple attempts at this. First attempt, if I qualify last, qualify last. If I spin off, I spin off. And yeah, we just got to jump into it raw. So the laps are not always going to be that great, really. They're probably going to be quite scruffy, to be honest, because I just, pretty much when I do league racing, I just spend a week doing that one track and don't really play online that much, really, too much. I'm planning to do a lot more of that soon. Don't really do it too much, so I'm always just focused on one track, so I'm always kind of relearning this. And I've only got 6 laps if you include the one-shot qualifying lap to actually do it and then try and win this championship. So I think that'll make it quite exciting. Enjoying it so far. The races are getting better and better each time, and I think my record for a career mode I think is 4 episodes I've done before. Don't quote me on that. I think it's probably on 2015 is the record I've done. So if I can go through a whole season of this, then maybe do 25% career mode, and then maybe 50. We'll take it step by step, but hopefully you're enjoying this, and it's just something that's just a bit of fun, really. Not too serious, but at the same time, we want to just try and make it entertaining and see how well we can actually do this season. So you can see the lap here, went a bit deep into that hairpin, but still getting a relatively good exit come up here. The strict corner cutting rules are turned on. Managed to navigate this quite nicely, and coming across the line, Vettel, I think he did a 30.6 or something, or 30.1 or something. We come in 6th place again. So that is six places in a row now for qualifying. So we definitely do need to prove that a little bit. So we're about pretty much 7 tenths off. 30.1 Vettel and a 30.8 we did, which is not too bad with a default sub. As you can see here, 6 wings. The only thing we're changing is the transmission and brakes as usual, and that's it. So starting on the grid in 6th place behind my teammate all the time, the 2 Mercedes and the Red Bulls, but lights are just about to go out now, so trying to get a relatively good start. Hulkenberg always seems to be the guy next to me at this point in the moment, getting a decent start, not really coming under threat from behind too much. Been a little bit of contact from Sainz behind him, which just notifies by the game here, but got down the inside of 2 cars now, so it's both Red Bulls have got down the inside once again, trying to hold it round the outside. Managed to get Verstappen, but Ricciardo's still managing to stay just a little bit in front of us, but we should be able to get down the inside. We leave the door a little bit open now, and that is a pretty comfortable move. And now into 4th place, so we're always making positions off the start, but now with just a little touch of wheel spin, now we go try and get to the groove of this as quickly as possible to try and not let my teammate get away, who just absolutely bossed it at Bahrain. And I think we are 6th in the championship at this point, of 6th or 4th, might even be 4th. I think it is actually 4th after the last round. So we've had what we had so far, we had 6th and then a 2nd place. So now we're in a prime position to try and win a race now. So we've got the 2 Mercedes ahead of us. Hopefully Hamilton can put a little bit of pressure on my teammate. Obviously I want to win the Constructors as well, but I just really want to get that driver's title. Going to overtake mode onto the straight here, and let's see, we've got a nice buffer behind us. Red Bull shouldn't really be a threat to us in the straight line. And now let's see what happens. I'm going to pick my normal braking point, but they brake so early, making a tiny bit of contact with Bottas there. Managed to get the move done, but they brake so early. I think I'm using 86-52 brake pressure around here, and that's pretty much my normal braking point. I can normally get it stopped. It doesn't really matter if you miss the apex too much because it's such a tight corner. Even if you overshoot it a little bit, you actually get a better exit most of the time as well. So they're braking very early there, but that means we're up into a podium position now. Now Hamilton is right behind my teammate, taking a tight line, come up here now, but trying not to lose the car. And now we've got a decent buffer to Bottas behind. Might have just lost his head a little bit after being torpedoed down the inside there. First gear to just get that little bit extra rotation, and now we're starting to get to rhythm, feeling pretty good at this point. 6 wings, which is a lot of downforce at default, should be pretty good around this track. It's not really too dissimilar to what you would normally use in a league race, so that you need high downforce down here anyway. So this should be pretty competitive for us, and I think the AI used default setup anyway, but the traction just straight on speed is just outrageous at times. But coming up to the back of these two now, I managed to stay with him quite nicely, going purple, which everyone would be going purple on the second lap anyway, so it's not really worth mentioning. But let's see what our straight line speed's like now. Got a nice buffer behind, and let's see if Hamilton actually starts to attack my teammate, which I think he should be able to. You can see him closing in on Vettel there, making a little bit of a move now, break at the same point, but again they break so early and we have to actually like abort that because we probably just rammed straight into the back of him. But I don't think we really lost that much time at all now. But again, a very nice exit onto the start finish straight now, setting the quickest lap, which is then just beaten straight away by Bottas, breaking away from the Red Bulls, which seems to be the case most of the time. And let's see, we've got loads of grip here, but we actually go down the inside of Hamilton, and we've actually been turned in on. And yeah, I don't know what to say there. I'm not going to do a replay of that because I just want to do completely uncut for the whole time. And we get a penalty as well from that. And I would like to think that the AI could see me coming there, but I don't know if it's a little bit too ambitious, or you think the AI should have moved out of the way. I'll leave that up to you really. But forgetting that now, we've gone back down to 8th place, and now our tyres are absolutely cooked at this point from spinning the car around. We've gone into 8th place, and we have a penalty as well for that. So the game has not really been that forgiving to us at this point. That means we've had 2 penalties in 4 races now, and we've got to try and catch back up, hopefully, to the second runner. We've got Hulkenberg ahead of us, but we've got Sainz ahead of him. And my target was to just get back up to that in 5 laps to see who could do that, because I think any chance of a top 5 now is going to be very difficult. If he can get 6th place, I'd be pretty happy with that. But we'll be able to see the top speed here now comfortably quicker than the Renault in the straight lines. So we're going to just turn off the ERS completely, going down the inside here, using some fuel. So we've got a little bit of fuel to the end of the race now, managing to just about get that move done. And now we've got to go on chase Carlos Sainz, and let's see what we can do. But the tyre wear, or the tyre temps, were not feeling that great at all. You can see did a 41 that lap, so we just lost so much time, and this is not good for our championship at all. We really need to be fighting where my teammate is. And yeah, with that Hamilton incident, I would have liked to have seen he was on my inside, but maybe he a little bit of a blind spot, so we almost lost the car there. He probably didn't see me in his mirrors, but I would have liked to have thought he would have actually recognised me there. But that's racing, that thing can happen. And now we're just not feeling good in the car. The tyres are just absolutely on fire, and I'm not really actually pulling away from Hulkenberg that much. You can see the proximity arrow is still right behind us, making a few little mistakes now because the rear end is just not what to do anything. We always lose the car once again. And I think we'll be looking at the tyre temperatures once we go onto the straight. We haven't even gained any time on Sainz ahead of us. And now I think it's pretty much going to be the case of just trying to defend this position. But look at the group of cars we've got behind us. We've got a 2-second time penalty as well. That could put us potentially out of the points. You can see it's 106 degrees on our rear left tyre. And that's because we just had to spin the car around. And if you just do that in a league race or anything in this game, if you have an accident, we have to spin the car or just wheel spin too much, you're pretty much done for that entire stint. And the Ultra Softs are not a very durable tyre around this track anyway, even in a 5-lap race. If you're on a little bit of a 2-over series setup, it can definitely cost you so much time. And we've got our first warning of the race as well, just confirming strict corner cutting is turned on. And I didn't see the gap what it was the same then, but we'll be able to check now. Take it very cautiously here, but the car is just understeering quite a bit now. It's just not really working too well and locking up into here as well. We really got to try and pull a 2-second gap on, I think it's the Hasses behind Hulkenberg. If we can do that, then we'll get to keep 8th place at least in this race. So we've got to try and do that, closing slowly on Sainz, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough. And we just got to try and pull up as much as possible, trying to keep it in low ERS, just trying to keep the rear temperatures a little bit further down. But you can see just understeer now. Tyres are starting to go off anyway, now all the tyres, so It's not good. You can see going out wide, just ever so slightly again, almost losing the car once again. Trying not to get any warnings here. And let's see, the gap, he's actually starting to pull away ahead of us now. And the cars are right behind us, so we just really need to, hopefully they're running out of ERS in the lap so we could put a little bit on this straight. Shouldn't really come too much under pressure, but he is actually quite close. He's actually got quite a good run. We've still got 106 degrees on our rear left tyre, and Hulkenberg has actually got a really good runner, so I think he's actually going to have a go going to his final hairpin. Tries to outbrake us on the outside, but we're going to close the door on the exit. My teammate wins for the second race in a row now, so he should be leading the championship. Coming around this last corner now, and let's see where this guy puts. We actually almost get another warning, I think, at the end of there. And let's see where we actually finish with that 2-second penalty. We finished in 10th place, so we only got 1 point from that race. Well, I think we could have won that if we didn't have that incident with Hamilton. I think we were definitely more than a match for our teammate, whereas I think, yeah, we did a quicker time. Bottas just had slipstream, and that puts us P6 in the championship and P2 in the constructors. So thank you for watching this. Next one on to Baku. Have a good Christmas and peace.